to defend itself is a cliche that has been repeated so often in the West that people just don't question it. And it has been used to send billions of dollars of weapons and aid to Israel so that Israel can slaughter Palestinians. And no one in the mainstream media has been asking the questions, do Palestinians have a right to defend themselves at all? Why or why not? And I will give you an example of that with this painting. So I painted this picture of Yusuf, who lives in Tel Rumeida, in the Tel Rumeida neighborhood of Hebron in the West Bank. And a 40-year-old settler woman forced rocks into his mouth and slammed his jaw shut and broke his teeth. Since Tel Rumeida is under the authority of Israel, Yusuf and his parents had to go to the Israeli police to file a complaint. But his attacker was neither arrested nor charged with any crime. And Yusuf cannot get justice from Israeli police. The Israeli police exist only to protect Israelis. And if a Palestinian wants to make a complaint to the police, they have to stand outside the police station for hours. And when they are finally let in, the complaint is taken and promptly ignored. Former Mossad agent Tamir Pardo admitted recently that in a situation where in a given territory, two people are tried through two different legal systems, this is an apartheid state. That's what he said.
We're going to stay with Katie. Through her paintings, she has described stories of farmers she visited in Palestine.
This painting is of a man named Hajj Ibrahim, who lives in the tiny village of Kawawis in the South Hebron Hills. There are only two families in this village. They are peasants. They have been tending their sheep for generations on this land. When I visited them, they didn't even have electricity. Since I visited, an international organization installed solar panels in their village, which were then confiscated by the Israelis. So the reason I was visiting the village is because the villagers had asked for an international presence because both them and their flocks of sheep would be attacked by Israeli settlers, and they could not defend themselves. They, just like Yusuf, had no recourse. And so Palestinian economist and author Saifuddin Ammous said recently in an interview that nowhere in the world is it acceptable for somebody to say your property rights are not valid because somebody identified with lived on that land thousands of years ago. So this is the situation for Palestinians. They have no property rights. They have no rights. They cannot complain. They cannot go to anyone to complain if they've been attacked or assaulted or their property's been destroyed. I drew some pictures of Ahed Tamimi, who is a young woman from the village of Nabi Saleh. She spent 8 months in prison for slapping an Israeli soldier after soldiers had invaded her village and shot her cousin in the head with a rubber bullet.